Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Otaku Brothers podcast. This is episode 81. Joseph, I'm glad to be here. I hope you are too.
Always a pleasure.
But I think we're gonna start this episode off by hating on My Hero Academia because me and Joseph just watched the trailer for the fourth movie.
You're next.
You're next with Dark Might. Wow.
Who's next, Ben? Who's next? I couldn't
You're
tell.
next.
Okay, yeah, that's
You.
what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's you. Yeah, I guess we'll just get into it.
Yeah. Wow, that was what a great way to start. By talking about My Hero, something I know we're both very
Really
passionate
sets the
about.
tone
Oh
for this
yeah,
episode.
definitely. Yeah. First impressions. No clue what was going on. It looks like obviously the movies aren't canon from the actual anime, the series that's going on, right?
That has been proven false.
Oh.
Because I think one of the movies is canon because something happened or they did a flashback to a scene in a movie in the manga,
Oh.
which made it canon.
Okay. So in the manga it is canon.
Concerning. I would hope the manga's canon.
Or yeah, sorry. Yeah, I meant the movies are canon in the manga.
I think at least one of the movies,
Okay. Sure.
which concerns me.
Sure. Well, okay, that makes things even more complicated and another reason to bash on My Hero. But no, regardless, I don't know, I really couldn't think much of it. It looked very silly to me. A bad All Might, Dark Might, is that what he was called? Or something like that?
Yes.
And he's there, and it seems like he's going to be fighting Class 1A, and Deku and Bakugo and Todoroki look the same. I mean, I don't know. It's just it doesn't seem necessary. I don't get why they wouldn't just make a movie of the anime, like every other anime has been doing recently. It doesn't make sense.
I don't know.
Because I think that'd be really cool. Apparently, because what I've been hearing about the My Hero manga recently, which could potentially, I feel like, save the I mean, this franchise needs saving, I guess. But just to up the ante a bit for the anime, I think doing a movie, of an upcoming season would be a really smart move on their part. But
I'm not sure if it's possible.
Yeah, I guess.
What is it? Bones that's animating My Hero?
Mm-hmm.
I think it is. It's Studio Bones. And the one complaint that's been consistent through like season 4 is that they don't set the tone right. I mean, they did it right once when Deku was fighting Lady Naga or whatever her name is, the sniper lady.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the entire rest of the series should be.
Please, yes. Thank you.
Like, I don't know. Everyone's always talking about like how they're fighting in the middle of day at high noon, and it's like it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, no, and I think that's one of the biggest. And you know what, Ben? Thank you for that so much, because I think that kind of clearly says what I've been trying to say about My Hero this whole time, is that it does feel like the tone isn't right. And I mean, you look at shows like Invincible, for example, that just finished an incredible second season, and although it does take a part in the day, it deals with dark, real elements that make it, up the ante, like I just said, with the series. And it does also have dark elements at night, but it isn't afraid to push those boundaries too far. And I'm not saying My Hero has to deal with sexual assault and crime, like depressing, dark crimes we won't say. But, it could at least be like Deku having more thought behind his actions than, Kachan, I can't. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's
funny.
Yeah, I think that's just one of the biggest problems My Hero suffers from, and that's one of the biggest turnoffs for me about the show, is because I have other shows that I can watch about superheroes, like The Boys, like Invincible, like, a bunch of other DC Marvel platforms. So you gotta have something about My Hero that makes it unique, because otherwise it just comes off as a plain shonen to me that's very mid, especially when you have other shonens right now that are carrying, like Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer. I think that My Hero really needs to, and I guess Studio Bones then, because from what I've seen in the My Hero manga, it does look pretty dark. And I mean, it seems like from on Twitter, the Twitter spaces that I've seen of My Hero, a lot of the panels have been censored and changed. So I think that's something that they need to embrace a little bit more. And to be fair though, I get it. Like for Easter weekend, I was with my I guess she's like my second cousin. She's like only like 10 years old and she's into My Hero. So it's like, I guess you can't go too hard into it, but because I
Yeah,
guess that is kind of their audience too. So maybe
yeah.
we're the weird ones, Ben, for watching. so, so yeah, that's just my take on it. But Darkfire looks, it doesn't look fun. It doesn't look dark actually. He
Why
just,
Dark
yeah,
Might?
I have no clue.
I mean, I get it, but they could have used a different name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. It's just it is what it is.
I
But
just don't.
yeah, it looks silly, and who knows because it just kind of again with the whole tone thing. It's like okay, we're going back to a silly fight. It seems like, and then it's like we're supposed to jump into
Yeah.
what is this the war arc, you know?
Yes.
So it's like it doesn't mix. It's there. I feel like yeah, it shouldn't be a thing. But that's just we've given too much time to My Hero already. But that's just
That's a great observation,
yeah.
Joseph.
But yeah. I mean that's just how it is. My Hero talk. Ben, you got anything else to say about My Hero?
Um, Unfortunately, no.
Good.
What else? There's something else.
Good.
What else
Well,
that I
while
saw?
you're looking that up, I was recently watching with my buddies. We rewatched Mashal because my friend wanted to watch a new anime, and I was like, oh, it's kind of similar to One Punch Man, so we watched it. We watched it dubbed, and it was actually I kind of miss it, Ben, and it kind of wanted me to get back into season two. Um,
Oh God.
it was fun. I don't know. Maybe
Oh
I'll
God.
watch it dubbed just to have it on in the background or something because the dub wasn't terrible. So who knows? But
You know, I'm glad you mentioned dub. I don't know if
oh.
you saw the TikToks that I sent you.
Hmm.
Um, but the dub voice actor for Jinwoo in Solo Leveling is actually
Hmm.
like really good.
Yeah, yeah, he is. Yeah, I remember I watched
And
that video you sent me of him saying like
it's
yacht and other things like that. All that other brain rot instead of
uh
arise. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
very excited to see when that scene gets animated to hear it in English. Because yeah, I remember you telling me, right? You said a lot of people were hoping that it would be in English when he says it.
yeah.
So who knows?
But like there was another video. I don't know if you saw the other video that I sent you of it was just like one of the scenes from the show.
Hmm.
And it was dubbed. It was just like I don't think I've ever heard a dub like that before out of an anime. And it was really life changing, I think.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, it has been. I think I did see the scene. Is it the scene where he's on the shrine and he's like, "I'm not. I don't want to die here" or something like that? Maybe that's. I
Yeah,
don't know. I think that might be the one. But yeah, he
yeah.
did an awesome job with it. Props to him. And I don't know, Ben. It feels. I feel like there's with the whole thing with dub is. I feel like you. I don't get it because I'm not. I don't want to sit here and say it's easy to be a voice actor because it's definitely not. It's not something that
No.
me or you could probably do. I mean, maybe if we devoted time to it. Um, but the thing is that it's not easy. Obviously,
Yeah,
it's
no.
hard. But then there's some dubs I look at, Ben, where I'm just like, I don't know if there's just no passion behind what they're doing or something like that. Because some voice acting performances in English, I'm just like, this is not it. I think
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's because again, it's our language, so maybe it's just like it's cringy to us to hear him like act that dramatic, which could be it. But then
Mhm.
I don't know why it works for some animes. Like Naruto does such a good job of their dub. Dragon Ball's a great one. Mob Psychos was solid with Reagan. Um, Attack on Titans was actually Attack. Never mind. There's other examples out there. Pokemon's
Mhm.
good. Things like that. And it's just weird. It's just weird. Prison School's dub is peak. High School DxD's is also really good too. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just the comedy shows that are better. Kaguya-Sama's was good too. Maybe it is easier with comedy shows. So and then maybe Naruto and Dragon Ball are the exception. Because I will say I was not a big fan of the Bleach dub.
Yeah. Blistov's I don't know. I like Ichigo.
Mm-hmm.
I like his voice actor in the dub.
That's fair.
Um, but I don't know. Like everyone like Kenpachi's voice actor, it's just like compared to the sub voice actor, it's not
Yeah.
good.
Exactly.
I mean
But
it's
yeah.
not bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not comparable, I don't think.
But yeah. So who knows? I might be watching Mashal season 2. Is basically what I'm saying because it was fun. So yeah, that's just a little side note. And the intro, dude, I've been listening to the intro a lot. And Ben, I'm sorry, it's actually pretty good. I like it
Mid.
a lot.
That's pretty
It's
mid, yeah. I'm
okay.
glad we agree on that.
We don't, but yeah, but
Not
Anyways,
a good
did
song.
you figure
It's
out
not a
this?
song. There's an anime opening is good if me, if I, if only me, if only
Mm-hmm.
me, if I put it in my Spotify playlist. Only
That's
me.
true. That's true.
If I choose to put that song in my playlist, that means everyone else is allowed to think it's good.
You know, I kind of, as much as I don't agree with that,
No, you do
for
agree with it. I know you do.
yeah,
I know you agree
I
with it.
think that that is I think you're right in the sense that that is
True.
something that I would not put in my Spotify playlist because I do have a Spotify playlist of anime openings and I actually got to fill it up more because it's very so I haven't touched in a while. But yeah, I think whenever it reaches a playlist is when you know it's a good song. When I'm like, oh yeah, I could just throw this on and be like,
You're admitting it's not a good song.
I didn't say it's not a great song. I guess it's not a great song.
One
But
day, I'll get you to say
to
it.
be in my Spotify playlist, you have to just be a really good anime song, really great anime song. Like maybe well, that's an episode for another day though. But yeah, it's like when he says "bling bong bong born," like that's pretty funny. So yeah, I don't know. I
Sarcastic.
really hope whenever we go to Japan, it just gets to the point where we're just like, I hope we just see someone. You know, I don't know how
What
that would
did you say?
like a I don't know a voice actor or like an artist or something.
I hope I see Chris Pratt. That'd be cool.
Yeah, you think he'd be there?
That'd be really random.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'd have something to talk about because we're both American.
There you go. Exactly. Like, hey, this isn't the same. Sorry. Yeah.
What?
This is why I can't do stand up. But yeah.
That's
Anyways,
a dumb
all that
comment.
aside, Ben, it was. Did you figure out what you wanted to say?
I did.
There you go.
So the Haikyuu movie aired in Japan February
Oh yes.
16th or 19th. Um, we don't know when it's coming to America yet, but
Oh, rats.
the attendance of the movie passed a total of 5% of the Japanese population,
Oh my
which
god.
is, I don't know how much that is. I should have looked that
That
up
has
while we
to
were
be a
talking.
lot. Japan's pretty populated. Isn't Tokyo like the most populated city in the world?
What? No, it's one of those is like India.
Oh, maybe I just totally lied about that. I thought Tokyo was. Maybe it's
I
just
think
for how.
it's um
Let's see. Let's see.
there's 123 million people in Japan. So that means
I knew it. It is Tokyo. No, it's
what?
not. It is Shanghai. No, it is
Oh,
not
really?
Shanghai. It is.
It's like
It's
New Delhi or something.
King with 32 million. Let me see. There's a whole list here.
So that I feel like that's not a lot actually. I don't know why they did an article on this. That's only 6 million people.
Oh, that isn't a lot of people. Well,
That's not a flex.
when you put that
Oh,
in a like
the
in.
number says it right in the article. It's-
Oh my god, these ads, dude.
Uh, is this like a good thing?
Okay, it says here it's Tokyo. I don't know. Tokyo's one of the most populated, is what I'm trying to say. Anyways,
The
wow.
movie is slowly coming overseas while the English subtitle version of Haikyuu is already screening in Japanese theaters.
Well, you gotta say, Ben, 6 million. I mean, times that by like an average ticket price of like $10. That's
It
six.
says
That's like 60
uh
million dollars.
they generated 8.7 billion yen.
Okay, so
I don't
eight.
know what the conversion is.
That's million. That's $87 million. A little
A
less than that,
lot.
probably, or something around there. Yeah. So, anyways, regardless, Haikyuu movie seems to be doing really well. I need to watch Haikyuu still, Ben. I'm excited to watch it,
Joseph broke our promise.
dude. I watched Bleach, man. I watched Bleach.
He still changed the deal.
I don't. Did I? I don't think I changed it. I
The
think you
deal
told me to
was you
watch.
watch Haikyuu and I read Chainsaw Man. I read Chainsaw Man. Did you watch Haikyuu?
You let me switch to Bleach. You let me switch to
Hey, I can
Bleach.
let you do whatever you want, but the deal was that you watched Haikyuu and I read Chainsaw Man.
Okay, well, we didn't put a date on it, so I'm gonna watch Haikyuu. Fine, if you want me to watch it right after Kuroko no Basket, I will.
I don't know. I feel like you can't watch sports anime back to back.
Yeah, you're right. Please don't let me do that. Maybe I'll take like I need like I'll watch like a rom com in between and then I'll jump into Haikyuu. Um,
What rom-com?
I don't know. Maybe like
You should watch.
Tomo-chan as a girl, probably.
I'm gonna pretend like
Okay, actually, this
didn't
you
hear
know what?
that.
Actually, that goes into a good segue. Speaking of rom coms, I was on
Segues.
Twitter the other day. Gosh, I hate Twitter, and
Oh boy.
I just found out that I told Ben this, which is it's insane to say out loud that Rent a Girlfriend is about to release its 36th volume.
I don't want to talk about this.
36 volumes. Shitsu Kaisen doesn't even have that many volumes, Ben. Isn't that insane? I personally don't think rom coms should be allowed to go on
Where do you
that
think the
long.
story is at that point? I know exactly where it's at. Oh, I know exactly where it's at.
See, and you know what's funny? I feel like if you told me, it would be like, okay. It'd be like, oh
I'm
yeah.
saying that sarcastically as a
Oh.
joke, because
Oh.
nothing has happened in the
Exactly. Oh, yeah, I
story.
was gonna say that's why. Whatever. We don't have to talk about Rent a Girlfriend. We can just get into the meat and potatoes of why we're here.
I
To
love meat
give
and potatoes.
Yeah, me too, actually. Me too. But yeah, to get into the main reason for why we wanted to make this video, which you can see by the title, is that we're talking about Neon Genesis Evangelion and our thoughts on the series overall and our expectations for the final movie. So, to give some background, guys, we will be spoiling the anime, the end of Evangelion, and then the first three rebuilt movies, so 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0. So, this is your warning. If you guys haven't seen any of these, go watch them all. They're great. They're awesome. And it's a good time. You definitely should go watch it. It was a lot of fun. I think I can speak for myself. I think Ben liked them. So,
I did.
yeah.
I just I'm still lost.
Yeah, so I think I could actually help with that, Ben. I think I could give some
Oh boy.
clarification of what happened in the third movie, which I'm very excited to talk about here with you. So, shall we get into it? That's your spoiler
Yeah.
warning again. But yeah, guys, pretty much just to start off, we want to give praise to the series. At least I will. It's an incredible sci-fi series, and I think the rebuilt movies have done such an incredible job of fixing a lot of the issues from the original anime and the end of Evangelion movie. Because for me personally, it's clarified a lot of stuff and it has made it more digestible, for me at least. So with that being said, I think it's a great series and this doesn't take away anything from the anime or the first movie. I think you should still definitely watch them first because
Hmm.
at the end of the day, that is how it was originally made. And yeah, I think that's something that should be preserved. And the intro is just a banger. That's an intro that is on my playlist for Spotify. Cruel Angel's Thesis is a banger, Ben. So
That is
I
true.
think we can agree on that much. So yeah, but getting into the movie and the elements of the show, I don't know how we want to go about this, but pretty much Ben and I recently decided to watch the Rebuilt series, which for those of y'all who do not know, there's the anime Evangelion and then a movie following it called The End of Evangelion. And pretty much the whole story behind that, to summarize from what I know based on my knowledge, and Ben as a refresher to you, pretty much the anime had 26 episodes, I think, and then up until episode 24, it all seems normal. I mean, semi normal, and then we get two episodes that don't really make a lot of sense. And those two final episodes were made in not a rush, but just made in a lesser quality since the anime did not have enough of a budget to really create their whole vision that they had really imagined for the anime and for the finale of the show. So what they do is just end up using a lot of still frames and coloring sheets
Hmm.
to symbolize the inside of Shinji's mind and the whole human internalization project or something like that. I forgot what it's called.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that is pretty much what that means and what happens in those last two episodes. And then we pretty much get the movie, The End of Evangelion, which kind of explains it all and does a little bit before leading up to those events and after that event. So, capiche, that clarifies that. So, yeah, pretty much that all happens in the original anime and the original movie. And then we get into the rebuilt series, where as throughout the whole first movie, it kind of follows the exact same beats as the show, except with the end, with a notable change of Angel 13 or Karuko, I think that was his name, Karuko, something like that.
Yeah.
The 13th angel, and he's there in space. He meets the dad and his his side buddy, and then that's how the first movie ends. And Ben, I think we could start off by talking about the first movie and our thoughts on it there, because I really liked the first movie. I think it was a good introduction. It got us back into the anime with hitting a lot of the same points and a lot of the main bullets that were in the anime, as well as leaving out a lot of the stuff that kind of seemed not filler, but just a little, it's not as necessary, the fluff, if you will. So I really liked the first movie.
Um, no, I liked it. I really did like it.
Okay.
It's good to see. It's crazy to because the Evangelion was made in like the 90s, right?
Yes.
What blew my mind, I didn't know the first movie was made in 2008.
Mm-hmm.
And the animation looks pretty like really good for that time period,
Oh
I
yeah.
guess.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like I don't know, it looks like it skipped or it went forward a decade, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It looks very clean and crisp. Or
Definitely.
I feel like anime in that time period looks a little has that weird vibe to it. I can't describe it, but whenever you watch one of those like Soul Eater,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it has that weird texture to it. I can't describe it.
Wait, the anime?
Yeah.
Okay. Like thicker, would you say?
I guess so.
Is thicker a good way to describe it? I
Just
think.
like the way I don't know. I physically cannot describe what I'm talking about. It's just like I feel like SAO had it, Soul Eater had it. What else?
Soul Eater.
Naruto had it a little bit. I cannot for the
What?
life of me describe it.
I can't even. The comparison between Sword Art Online
I
and
think it's the
Naruto.
shadows.
Maybe the shading.
Yeah, I think there's a lot less shading in
So I see what you mean. It's more blocky, maybe.
not necessarily blocky. Like everything looks good. It's just there's not as much shading. I think with the Evangelions, they did a lot of shading and whatnot, so make things look a lot sharper.
Yeah. So maybe
And
not as deep. So it's a lot more 2D compared to like stuff like
yeah,
maybe Attack on Titan and like
yeah,
which is more I mean obviously it's all 2D, but it's 3D shading kind of brings it out, makes it pop a bit more.
yeah.
So yeah, I see what you mean. But um yeah, I mean that's one of the biggest notable changes that we saw right off the bat. And I mean, me and Ben after the first movie went to go see where it leaves off in the anime, and wow, like the comparison in animation is crazy. But I think that how good the animation is just a testament, really, to how popular the show is and how willing they were to dedicate a lot more money to it this time around to get people into the series again.
Yeah.
And obviously it paid off because Evangelion is such a big franchise and household name in Japan and in the US that I think it definitely paid off. But yeah, again, one of the other things that I really liked about the first movie is that I feel like the main characters get a lot more I don't know, I feel like a lot more attached to them, especially Rei and Shinji. I feel like a lot of the big issues with the original anime that I had was that Shinji and Rei kind of just felt not one-dimensional, but just very unwilling to change and develop. Rei was just kind of obviously that copy clone who's just kind of like, oh yes, I am here to serve you. And then Shinji is just like, I'm depressed baby who can't make up my mind about anything. And that kind of happens. But I feel like in the movie, it does such a better job of showing them to kind of with a bit more depth. Not enough to where it totally breaks their characters, but to where, with Rei, you kind of see her question things a bit more so. And it kind of gets you thinking more like in, say, Blade Runner or Ghost in the Shell. We kind of get to see them think like, okay, am I actually human or what am I really, which I really liked. And with Shinji, it kind of seems like he has a bit more of a backbone in these movies. And
Hmm.
he's not, I mean, obviously he still is depressed and going through a lot, but he does seem a bit more willing to stand up for himself a bit, which I really appreciated. Misato was also really good. And I think with them constraining it to one movie, it does a lot better of a job of not confusing you as much. Personally, I feel like I was not as confused in the movies as I was in the show, and I think that's more so because they have less time with the dad in particular, who is going through a lot of stuff. Like we talked about, one of the big scenes is that they leave out the scene with Adam, where the dad was with him for the first time or something like that. So I mean, I think that's just, yeah, it does make it a little less confusing, which I appreciate. So that is
Honestly, I'm
that.
not gonna lie.
Hmm.
I am still so confused about the story of this.
So I think I just got the main like bullet points of it, which helps me
I,
a bit.
I get what's happening, but it's just hard for me to piece things together for some reason.
Hmm. No, that's fair. That's totally fair. So
Especially whenever the second movie ended with the third impact or a partial third impact,
yeah, it was a third impact. Yeah.
and then there's a fourth impact apparently.
Yeah. So, well, I guess that's just a good segue into the second movie. So, the second movie picks up right where the first one ends with the arrival of Asuka. We get to see best girl Asuka. That's just sorry. I don't know if we're having that debate here. Maybe that could be the end of the debate. If Ray versus Asuka, Ben,
I like the other woman.
I'll play Misato.
No, the other woman.
Oh, the glasses girl.
Is she in the second movie? She is.
She is. Yeah, she is.
Yeah, I like her.
Okay. I mean, that's the
I just want
safe
to
answer.
put that out there before we get any further. You know, just
Okay.
for future reference.
That's fair. Yeah. So yeah, the second movie, Asuka arrives, and that it's kind of a lot more catered towards her and her role in the show. Again, I feel like Asuka does a lot better of a job of being more as well, being more developed and not just being this mean girl. She definitely has a lot more zazz to her, and it kind of seems like it definitely illustrates early on that she does really like Shinji, but she's just kind of a jerk and doesn't really know how to show her emotions really well, which I really liked. I thought she was a lot more of a tsundere type in this movie than she was in I can't believe I'm saying that with a straight face. But anyways, so yeah, I feel like that she was that much more of that type than just being a plain jerk. So yeah, that was very good to see. And then we see Misato. We get to see the other German dude who Misato was friends with in college. A lot more of that stuff. A lot more cool visuals with the angels. I will say, Ben, it does seem like the angels. I will say that the angels seem a lot more different in their designs, and I think that is because the animation team has a lot more range to do a lot more creative things with them instead of just having them be like one block. We see a lot more of, CG animation get involved and 3D stuff like that with the angels, and it's really cool to see. It's really cool to see.
I like the angels a lot. I like how most of them scream.
Yes.
And
yes.
I think that's such a cool sound effect.
Yeah.
And I don't know, one weird trope that I find interesting about Evangelion is that every time they fight an angel, it's this like world-ending event. Like if they don't kill it, the world will end.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean,
But
it
then
pretty
they
much
kill
will
it.
because that's what the angels are trying to do, and
I
that'll lead
know, I
us.
get that, but like,
Mhm.
it's just I feel like they should be a little bit more stressed out.
Yeah.
And they're just
No, they are because they're just letting it, just like leaving it to the kids. Like, you got this. Like, you have 10 seconds or else. And it's just like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just because at this point there's like 20% of humanity left, so it's just like,
yeah, I think everyone just kind of doesn't care. They're
yeah,
used to it, I guess.
exactly. Yeah, no, for real. But yeah, we also get some stuff with a lot more again development with Rei and Shinji, especially with them two. It's seeming now that they do like each other, right? I mean, we see Rei kind of saying that she wants to be happy. We get that whole subplot, which I don't think is in the anime, with Rei trying to make dinner for everybody so that way she could connect Shinji with his dad, which was just the sweetest thing. And we see Shinji really appreciate that and want to, get with Rei, to be together with her, which just makes it all more sad when we get to the ending of this movie with Asuka seemingly dying. And I guess we still don't know why she has that eye patch, Ben. But I mean, we can probably assume it's from this attack, I'd assume, if anything. But so yeah, that's just another thing. We see Asuka die, or supposedly quote unquote die, when Shinji goes berserk in his Evangelion, and after the Evangelion shuts down, it re-triggers again because of how much emotion and passion Shinji has because of the connection of the Evangelion to his mother. And this all triggers when Rei ends up supposedly dying too because of the angel. So he goes berserk and tries to save her, but by going berserk and saving her, he triggers the third impact, which happens and is a really crazy and scary event. So I guess to summarize what that pretty much was, Ben, from what I've been reading, is that we see that in the movie. The reason they put that collar on him is to prevent him from going berserk and touching Rei, because if that happens, it'll start the third impact. Like that, I believe, is how they explained it in the video I saw, and it seems like I'm actually kind of blanking now. So
Right?
we'll kind of it is a little
Confusing.
confusing. So whenever he touches Rei, he goes berserk, which triggers the third impact because I believe he is actually the trigger. And this once he touches Rei, he ends up causing a third impact, which happens, destroying the entire Neo Tokyo city. I think, or not Neo. Is it called Neo Tokyo or is that Akira? I can't remember. I think it's Tokyo 3. I think that's what it is. Not Neo.
Tokyo 3.
Tokyo 3, not Neo Tokyo. Yeah, Tokyo 3. So that happens, and after he ends up triggering the third impact, he ends up getting shot into space, kind of into stasis, where he is left there. And it's very important that he's been left there for 14 years. After the third impact, the whole section of like Misato and some other people leave Nerve to join to create an organization called Will. Is that what it is? Like Will or something like that? Willow? It's called Willow. And they leave the organization because they kind of see that that Shinji is the danger and will cause the third impact if he has that effect again. And they kind of see that the head, Shinji's dad, wants the third impact to start because, and this is where it gets important, Ben, is that the dad wants the impact to happen, and the dad is doing all of this because he wants to get with his wife again, Yui, yeah, or Yue, I think that's her name, yeah. Yui, and pretty much he needs to do that to do that. It's the human integration project, I believe is what it's called. I might be butchering that, but it's along those lines. So they separate, and the reason Shinji even comes down from stasis is because the dad ends up pulling him into back down, apparently. And he didn't really want to use Shinji, but that was the only way that he could do it because he needed that emotional pull to get him to do it. And it turns out that the angel dude, Kawako, I forgot his name. Kawako is an angel, and then he is the embodiment of the angels, and then Rei is the embodiment of Lilith's or the humans. And so they touch, things happen, and it triggers impacts. So yeah, that's kind of what I see.
I'm gonna explain intercourse to my kids that way.
Yeah. I don't think the intercourse, but I just think it's something along those lines.
I know.
And it seems like the human integration project is what happens is everybody pretty much their souls leave their bodies and just become a giant sea of souls. And so they all get to be together again. Every person's soul gets to be together again, which is some, religious symbolism, which some religions do believe in, I think. So yeah, that's why the dad is trying to do that so he can get with his wife again. But it seems like SEAL, the organization that the dad is working with, has ulterior motives, and it turns out that the dad is actually playing 4D chess and knows of those ulterior motives and wants to do his own thing to get his goal achieved. So I think he ends up sacrificing those dudes at the end of the movie for some reason. Right. Yeah. At the end of the third movie.
I thought Nerve, or going back a step, I thought Nerve was so Nerve's obviously kind of like a what's the word? Like a cover to do what he's doing, right?
Yes, yeah.
And so I thought Seal was his ulterior motive thing. But I get what you're saying now, because he did sacrifice those guys.
Yeah, that's a whole different group. And like I said, he didn't even want to use Shinji in the first place, but the only reason he's using him is because he needs him, and that's why they actually sent him down from space. Mm-hmm. But it felt like, I don't know why Misato waited so long to not try and get Shinji back. Like, that was kind of like, they kind of waited right till the end there. They really called it close. Yeah. I was like, Shinji was right there. No one grabbed him. He stood there for like a solid 30 seconds saying why he shouldn't leave or why he should leave. And no one decided to grab him because, he's that important that they're trying to come grab him. So
she could have killed him, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it seems like Ray also did die. And it seems like all those bodies we see with the
That's
spears
the
of
power.
Longitis at the end of the movie are from his failed experiments, the dad's failed experiments.
Yeah.
And that's when they realize that they really need Shinji for this. And so they get him there with um, the 13th Evangelion, and they try and do him with Kawako. It doesn't work. Or in order to abort the mission, Kawako has to sacrifice himself, which is an interesting change because I think Kawako is a bad guy who is in favor of the um, human, the human, I think, thing. I forgot what it's called again. The human thing project, getting
Don't
them
worry,
all
I know what you're
together.
talking about.
Yes, yeah. So it was a very interesting turn of events, but I mean, this kind of leaves us to, or the whole crisis, the fourth impact ends up getting averted at the end of the movie, and Shinji and Rei leave with Asuka to join Misato. So I'm very
Mhm.
curious to see where this movie is going to go because I think it's going to have to eventually go where the movie ends or the end of Evangelion goes. I don't think it's going that far, of course, but I think I'm very curious, Ben, because it seems like this is going to be a big deal, and it's going to be the conclusion of Evangelion. So I'm excited
Yeah.
for it, regardless. But I mean, I've been loving it. It is very confusing still, but to my understanding, that's kind of what it seems like the main beat is.
Yeah.
So I get that much. I couldn't really tell you specifics about why the Adam is there with the longitis weapons in him.
How did he get there?
hmm or so I think how it worked was. Oh yes, yeah. So that's pretty much how it was. I remember him saying that in the video. So the whole thing is that in the world there were two different sides, the Liliths and the angels, and so the Liliths ended up getting sent to Earth, and that was what crashed there and caused the first impact, and then after that the angels eventually came and found it, and that's kind of what brought them together, and that's why I think they're not allowed to touch or something like that because then it'll cause that whole impact thing or something like that. I don't know. It's confusing, but it's along those lines.
Mhm.
So, yeah,
We'll figure it out one day.
we
One day
will
I'll
figure it
understand.
out. But yeah, I don't know, Ben. What have you been thinking of the new additions? This whole little subplot of Tokyo 3 getting destroyed and this new girl, and I wonder what her role is going to be. I've seen videos dedicated to just her role specifically, and I'm very curious because to me she hasn't really added anything crazy yet. So I'm curious to see if in the fourth movie she plays a bigger role.
Hope so.
Because it seems very
I think
random to just add a new girl like that, or a new character.
I hope she has a bigger role than she does right now
hmm
because we don't really know much about her character,
Yeah, it seems
and
it
it
seems
would
like
be
she's
cool to
Russian.
see.
I think was she Russian?
I th-
Or no, she speaks
I don't
English. I
even.
don't know. I remember she was speaking English. So who knows? But yeah, like I said, there's a lot that we don't know, and she seems like such a wild card for me at this point.
Yeah,
And it's very interesting to see. We kind of hear Asuka talk about 14 years, and she still looks the same, which
yeah.
is there's probably reasons for that
She's the
outside of the.
14th angel.
Yeah, no, that's not why. But I mean, who
Never
knows? Who
know.
knows? Yeah. Oh yeah, we also don't understand like why her eye was going green and her other one going blue. So there's just things like that. I'm very curious to see about why that's happening and things like that because that might symbolize that maybe she does have an eye underneath that eye
I don't
patch.
know.
She's covering it up like some Gojo style. Does
Maybe.
does Gojo ever explain why
Like
he wears a blindfold?
yes.
Why does he wear a blindfold?
So he has the six eyes technique, right?
Yeah.
And so he kind of gets over information overload if it's like constantly on, right? He's constantly using this, and so he limits one of his senses
Mm,
to almost like nothing, so it's not like in information overload.
gotcha.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I'll pretend like that makes sense. Not to,
That makes
it,
sense.
it does. It does. So yeah. But yeah, Evangelion's been great. I yeah. I mean this last movie was really good. It was the first
Hold
movie
on.
that.
I did not like the part of the last movie where I did not like the intro of the last movie that we watched. The third one.
Yeah, we're there in space.
Was that the one? The one
Yeah.
where they all the ships started flying everywhere.
Yeah, that was this one.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't like that. I thought that felt really weird,
It did.
and it didn't feel like Evangelion.
It didn't. Yeah, it felt a lot like you said Gurren Lagann. I
Yes,
think.
it's literally Gurren Lagann. That
But
happens in the show.
oh,
Hold on, no, there's another point. Gurren Lagann's like weapon officer is a blonde woman with short hair and piercings everywhere, and that's the same girl in Evangelion. I know they're
Misato's
copying.
Misato's like side girl.
Yes.
But if you want to go there, Ben, I mean, Evangelion came out in like the
Don't
okay.
don't even. The movies came after Gurren Lagann.
But she was in. Oh, you're not talking about Ritsuko?
Am I? Let me see.
The blonde girl, the one who was like the co-captain standing beside Misato.
No. Let me
Oh,
find her.
I don't know who you're talking about then.
This is 3.0,
Yeah, the
right?
start of
I
3.0.
just cannot type right now.
Interesting. Oh yeah, I thought you were talking about Ritsuko because I was like, she's in the original anime. And I was like, that's very much. I don't know. Maybe this just means I got to read the manga of Evangelion. I don't know if I want to do that, but
Let's see. We got characters.
time after time, time after
Willy.
time.
Not
Willy.
Willow, sorry.
Hello.
We got Misato.
Misato-san.
We got Ritsuko. Not Ryoji. Right? No, not that guy. Whatever happened with that guy? I know I've let you down. I made a fool of myself. Not this girl.
I wish that was on the soundtrack, dude. My vinyl
It's not
soundtrack.
on the freaking vinyl?
No.
What?
Maybe it is. No, it's not. You know, I'm gonna check this right now. I don't think so. I've listened to the whole vinyl.
I know I let you down.
Let me see. Let's see.
Okay, I'm still looking for this woman. Give me a second. It's not Sakura, is it?
Is it in the anime when they play that song?
Yeah, it's whenever the third impact happens.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Midori Hideki Tama? No, that guy looks like I don't even know what the name of that song is. Sumire. No. There's so many characters.
I don't think they have
Oji.
It's crazy.
No.
I need to figure out what the song is called.
Oji. Maya? Is it Maya? Dude, how many people are there? There's not that many people.
Why don't you just look up a clip of the
I don't feel like it.
Evangelion Pact song?
Makoto? Okay, I guess the person I'm thinking about does not.
I told you, Ben. I don't think it was.
No, it does. We'll see her in the last movie, I bet.
Hey, let me play the song real fast. Let's see.
I know.
This is not it.
That is not it.
Let me see. I know. Come, Sirtan. Yeah. I didn't get that, Ben.
Yeah, return it.
Return it?
Yes.
That sucks. That really sucks. Flying to the moon. Yeah, that's crazy. Sorry, we're a little side tangent there. While we're at it, guys, I just want to say thank you for all the likes.
That's incorrect grammar. Tangent is a side, so it would just be a little tangent there, not a little side tangent.
So it's like a saying the same thing twice type deal.
Yes. There you go. It's like chai tea.
It's just like you're saying TT.
Yeah.
Well, just a little side thing. Note. I want to say thank you all so much for the love on the shorts. They killed it. I just did one about the Chainsaw Man chapter. It was crazy. big reveal happened that is been in the making for a while, and we finally got it. Ben
That
spoiled it
is
for
true.
himself
Even I
on
know it happens. That's a first.
Ben spoiled it for himself on Twitter or
No.
on TikTok.
TikTok.
Yeah. So Ben, I don't. You need to watch it or read it, Ben. It's so good. Actually, yeah. I don't know if you'd like it. And here's the thing. Actually, I've ranted about this before, Ben, but I'm a firm believer that I think after Chainsaw Man, I'm not gonna read weekly manga
Wow.
because I think what I've learned from reading weekly manga is that I don't like it. I think
See,
that
it's
what's
fine.
hard.
No, it's the
No,
wrong manga.
I
The
think
wrong
I think
manga.
it is. I think it is because the thing with Chainsaw Man is that it is very dialogue heavy, and a lot of the chapters are talking, and a lot of people in the community too have this issue where they're just getting pissed, like, oh, nothing's happening. But then we get a chapter like this, and then they're all like, oh, happy, happy. But I hate to admit it, but
No.
I'm kind of feeling like that too,
Yeah.
and like I've been collecting the newest part 2 volumes of Chainsaw Man, and while I've been doing that, I really notice and feel like whenever I read them, I'm like, oh yeah, no, this is why I love Chainsaw Man. This is why it's peak. This is why it's great. But whenever I'm reading it weekly by weekly, I'm just like, okay, I'm still engaged, but I'm just like, it feels a bit slow. And I think it's just because when I'm reading it all together, I can get the story at a faster pace. And I think that's very important. And I think that reading it weekly has just kind of tainted me. And that's why I'm kind of glad that I haven't read JoJo's Part 8 yet, because I don't think I want to read JoJolion. Or not JoJolion. JoJo Lands weekly. Or not weekly. I guess that's monthly. But, still, it's the same concept. And
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's definitely just not. Are your curtains moving? Your curtains are moving, scaring me.
Sorry, the fan's on.
A strong fan.
It
Anyways,
is. It is. If I
it's
have papers on my
definitely
desk. I'm sorry.
it's definitely the wrong manga
Yeah.
because I guess it's hard to keep up weekly because I feel like Chainsaw Man is a mix of like drama, thriller, and shonen.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a crazy take.
No, it is, and it's funny you say that because Chainsaw Man's not even a shonen manga anymore. It's not a part of Shonen Jump. It got to it's on a new publisher, and that was one of the cool things that Tatsuki Fujimoto even talked about, was that he felt restrained by Shonen Jump following that same formula of that shonen thing, which is why part 2 is so very different from part 1 of Chainsaw Man, and why this one is a lot more dialogue heavy. And I say weekly, but sometimes it will be bi-weekly chapters. And so waiting 2 weeks for just more talking is just gotten me really like, eh. But don't get me wrong, like I said, it is still up there as top 3, top 5 for me. It's incredible. I love it so much. But it's just a personal thing for me. But I think you're right. I think if I read something like, Boruto, for instance, which was good weekly, I think I would have that more like, let's go, let's do this. But, it's like watching a Quentin Tarantino movie, but only like 30 minutes every like couple hours. It's like, okay, talking and then more talking, and then you get to like the 4th or 5th time and you're just like, oh yeah, no, this is why it's incredible. But I guess that's different because his dialogue is incredible too. So
I think the one manga I would pay for you to read is definitely Blue Lock.
Really?
It is so good.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe I will.
I don't know. It is unironically so good.
And see, I feel like though if I do read Blue Lock, again, because I'm pacing myself with like Don and Jujutsu Kaisen, because I'm not reading them until I get the actual volume.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Well, I am. It's been great. It's been such a great experience. Like Don, I'm so happy I'm waiting because every time I get a new volume, I get all like I kick my feet up, dude, and I'm just like, ooh, it's so good. Ben, you should read Don. It's literally like a rom-com, dude. It's a rom-com.
Okay, wait. This is perfect, Joseph. Okay. So Blue Lock is about to catch up to where the anime left off. So in theory,
what do you mean the Blue Lock?
You could get
the volumes.
Yeah.
Oh no! See, I'd probably just read Blue Lock online.
Right.
Well, I
just can't win,
dude. Well, I already have too many volumes, dude. I mean, look at the shelf, bro. It's already full, and I just bought the shelf.
Just see my shelf, Joseph.
I know.
I have
You should give a
The
shelf
rest of
tour.
Chainsaw Man, the rest of JJK, Dog Ningen, and a Blue Lock volume just sitting just out because I don't have
Out.
anywhere to put it.
Yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm double stacking my books. So like if you can kind of
Double stacking?
so like if you see
I
here,
can't
yeah,
see.
you can't see at all. Hang on, return. Look at this. Okay.
Oh, are you going? Whoa!
So you see how there's like these volumes like right here that are like
Yes,
stacked in front?
that's how mine are.
So we see there's like there's enough room to where I could stack those upward vertical
Yeah.
on there. So like it could just they'll be behind the books will be behind it.
Hmm.
So I'm thinking on my double stack series. Like if it's getting too like the series is too big, like for Attack on Titan or something like
I don't
that.
know. I can't do that. I would I just get a whole new shelf.
Yeah, but yeah, that's fair. That is true. But
There's these cool bookshelves I saw where they're wall mounted, but
mm,
what you do is you slip the back cover um the back cover of the very bottom book that you're
mm,
putting, or like the first book that you're putting on, under the little slip, and you
mm.
stack it on top of that book, and so it looks like they're all just floating.
Oh, that's pretty
It's
cool.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
sick. That's awesome. But yeah, so that's just another little tangent there. It's yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
I do. There's so much manga I want to get though, dude. So if I do start reading Blue Lock, oh man, I'd be upset. Well, maybe I will, just because I do need a sports anime manga to have. And
yes.
I will say I don't think Kuroko no Basket has a manga. At least at Barnes
It
and Noble
does.
they
I
don't
just
have
don't know
one.
where you buy it.
Yeah,
I've
exactly. I
seen
don't know
manga panels.
if I found one, I'd get the Kuroko no Basket manga. But
Yeah.
since they don't,
I
maybe I
will
will get
say,
Blue Lock.
so far the Blue Lock manga is better than the anime.
Really? The art
By a
looks so
long
good though.
shot,
The art
too.
looks so great in the manga. So I'll give you that. But then Ben,
There's no way.
you should read Dandadan because it started off just like a normal like shonen with like the Chainsaw Man mob psycho elements,
Yeah.
but then it turns into a romance, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is dangerous. It's dangerous, dude. Yeah,
So it's like, I really hope my dress up turns into a shonen. That'd be
why
awesome.
why literally
There's
why.
they're setting it up. There's a Gojo in my dress up, right? So
Hmm.
they just pull some weird ass pull, and now Gojo is linked to the Gojo from the JJK verse.
That's
So he
fair.
has the limitless technique
Hmm.
and infinity.
Yeah,
Perfect. And now he fights
perfect.
people.
Hmm.
I should write my own manga, dude. I'd be great at this.
Every anime fan goes through that phase where they want to write a manga. Apparently.
I could do it.
I think we could. Do you want to do the
I'm
story
going
or the
to.
drawings? You should do
I
the
just need someone to
drawings.
draw for me. I'll make the
Oh.
story.
What would your story be about? We should do that. That would be such a good goal, Ben. If this channel ever became like big, we should make a comic book or a graphic novel. Sorry, and we'll do it like oh sorry, did I just
No. What genre would it be?
um okay, let's think about this. I'd want to do something like more like Hell's Paradise, Chainsaw Man-y, like gory, dark,
Okay.
gritty.
Okay. I think I'd do something like One Punch Man
Okay.
with a bunch of like um I can just do whatever I want and then it's
Yeah.
justified because I said it is.
Okay, that's fair. It's okay.
Like
We'll combine the two. It'll be like
there's a there's a panel of Saitama like benching black holes.
Are you serious? That's crazy. Are you
Yeah.
serious?
I
That's insane. It's wild. That's kind of funny. Oh my god. Um yeah, that'd be so cool because I know like Moist Critical he does like his Slap God one and I'm just like that's so cool. That is just so cool to have your own graphic novel. So, I don't know, and if we did do it, Ben, we would style it in the same way Solo Leveling does. I really like how they do theirs.
that's that's kind of hard.
Well, like just I like the pages. At least the page texture
Okay.
and like that art style. Not like yeah, I don't know. I really like that art style that they do in their manga or
Mhm.
manhwa. So, who knows? That would be such a flex. I've always wanted to do something like that to where people can go and like see your product and be like, "Wow, this is, I know the person who made this." Like, Prime or like like something on maybe like a Netflix documentary or just like, yeah, a book, or just, you know, where you can go in public and just be like, oh yeah, I know the person who wrote that or made that or owns this.
We should just do the thing where we make just like one volume and then we go put it in Barnes and Noble or something. Then we
Oh,
just walk up to people like, "Hey, you ever heard of this? Yeah, that's me. I made it.
so
Want
like
me to
we don't,
sign it? Okay."
so like we don't even sell it there. We just put our own,
Put it in
you know, and we
there.
can make it even look more legit. We'll make like those cards that they're doing at Barnes and Noble now, like a little description about it.
Yes. Yes.
That'd be awesome. And there's only one volume left, so it looks like it's popping. And then we'll be like, we'll pay for it. They know us, and then we'll just give it to them.
Yeah, we got the hookup.
I'm down. That'd be a great video.
That'd be funny.
I'm sure. I wonder if we could hire someone on Fiverr to just do that, to make a manga.
Oh, an entire book?
Yeah. Maybe not a book. Maybe like a couple chapters, like one volume worth.
That's still a lot of drawing.
That is a lot of drawing.
Yeah. I wonder if we could get away with AI.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that. But that'd be a fun bit, like a premise idea to do.
Yeah.
Well, all good ideas. Looks like we have some discussing to do. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is a good place to wrap it up. This was a good podcast. I'm actually happy with this episode. This was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching this episode of the Otaku Brothers podcast. As always, my name is Joseph, joined by my lovely co-host Ben. And yeah, we've just want to say thank you all so much for the support y'all been showing us. Subscribe, hit that like button, turn that notification bell on, and yeah, we'll see you all next week for more.
Bye-bye.
Man, don't you just ever feel in Arrivederci.
What? Peace.
That's my only friend, no light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines, and I'm through passing time. I choose stacking dimes, you snooze half the time while I move passing by.